Maybe your problem isn't other people, it's that you continue to wait for permission from other people to live the life that you want to live. And in all honesty, this is a realization that I'm coming to right now. And I think it kind of started before the winter solstice. So yesterday was the winter solstice. It was the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year. It was December 21st. And leading up to that, I have been feeling kind of disillusioned with my life in the sense that I know that there's something much greater for me, but for whatever reason, I have been playing it small. And all of that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks on Sunday, meaning on the winter solstice. And I think it's kind of timely that it's doing that, right? Because as soon as the winter solstice hits, then the days automatically start getting longer until the summer solstice, which is in June. So tonight is going to be a longer night than yesterday was, naturally, because it's the day after the winter solstice. And I'm just really reflecting on where I'm going with my life, the things that I'm pouring into, the things that I'm not pouring into, and my real reasons for why I'm not doing the things that I know that I want to do. So for the longest time, I've known that I really enjoy making these videos. I enjoy creating podcasts. I just enjoy showing up online and sharing my reflections on life. And I think for the longest time, I didn't think it was a viable path for me. I thought I had to operate under someone else's umbrella in order for me to be successful. But I truly believe that was a limiting belief that I had. And it was something that was holding me back because every time I had the opportunity to do something on my own, to invest in myself, instead, I wouldn't do that. And I would say, oh, well, let me just do this for a little while. Let me just latch onto this brand and help that brand. But it's like, why help another brand when I can help the brand of me? You can help the brand of you. And this is not to say that we should all be creating our own companies. I think maybe not everybody is meant for that, and that's okay. But I do think I'm meant for that. And I have been hiding and just convincing myself of otherwise because of some of the hardships that I faced earlier on in my life when I tried to do this. And in all honesty, it's really all about perspective. How are you looking at the experiences that you've had in your life and what lessons are you extracting from them? If you're extracting, oh, well, I failed the first 2 times that I did it, I should just never do it again, you're not really learning the lessons because there were probably other lessons within that you're choosing to overlook and just sum it up into this, oh, I guess I'm not meant to do it. But maybe the first time around when you try to launch your own brand, you didn't have the financial discipline. You didn't have the discipline period to be consistent in uploading. And it's like you have to look at those little things and isolate them and see the reasons for why you failed in the first place, as opposed to just putting your hands up in the air and saying, I'm just not meant for this. You just had to learn lessons. And if you really think about it, okay, the most successful founders of companies are those people who have had a bunch of failures under their belt beforehand. Why? Because they learned valuable lessons from those failures that they then utilize to build a successful company later, where they had the foresight to be like, okay, I have to be smart about this because remember what happened last time. I don't want that to happen. So let me move this way next time. Okay. And also you just build your confidence in being able to sustain a certain level of success. And so now I'm like, I have to stop getting in my own way. I have to stop saying, oh, well, it's not possible. Oh, well, I have to work for someone else. Oh, well, this, oh, well, that. No, you can do anything that you want to do, but you have to give yourself the permission to do so. Stop looking to this person or that person and saying, oh, hey, will you validate me and tell me that I'm doing the right thing? No one is coming to save you, okay? No one is going to just be there and constantly tell you what you should do with your life, okay? And that it's going to be accurate. Because I think everybody has an opinion, right? We all also have assholes, right? But the thing is, you ultimately have to know yourself best, and you have to discover what it is that you truly want, because you're going to be the only person who knows what you should do with your life. you can't outsource that to anybody else because no one else has lived your unique life path, okay? So they are going to be giving you things that you should do based off their life path. They're projecting onto you. Everybody's just projecting onto everyone. Even me. I can't tell you what you're supposed to do in your life, and you shouldn't look to me or anyone else to tell you what to do in your life. Only you know the answers to your life, and you have to become comfortable with that. And in becoming comfortable with that, you take accountability for you creating your life, okay? And I think for the longest time, I was a little bit afraid of that because it just felt like so much pressure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What if I get it wrong? But the thing is, you can never get it wrong. And I think that's kind of the perspective that I came to is like, you only get it wrong by not even being in the game of life. As long as you're playing in the game of life and you're doing things that feel aligned to you at the moment, you're doing the right thing. Okay? And I guess the major eureka moment that I had a few days ago is that I don't feel in alignment anymore with what I'm doing, so I need to change something. And it's just so interesting because I think every time I start a new job, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And then around like the 3 to 4 month mark, I'm like, bruh, this is not what I want to be doing with my life. And I don't think any job will ever be that for me. I think it's really about me creating my life, me having the creativity to actually do things differently and not have to solely depend on a corporate structure that has been in existence for a much longer time than I've been working there. And I think that's fair. You have to know the type of person that you are, and you can't shame yourself for it. You literally have to work with it. Like, that's the only way to have a life that you truly love is you need to be honest with yourself. And honesty can be frustrating if you've been lying to yourself for so long because you've been trying to fit yourself into a box that was never going to sustain you in the first place. So stop waiting for people's permission to do the things that you really want to do and just start. You don't have to have this grand vision of everything that you want to do and know how everything is going to fit into its place, but you do have to start. You have to imagine it, and you really have to feel into that version of yourself and act like them right now. What would they be doing? How would they be spending their time? How would they be upskilling so that they can become that version of themselves who has all those things that they want? You really just have to think from the consciousness of that person. And I didn't really understand this for the longest time, and I felt like I had to have it all figured out, but you don't. Those pieces will magnetize towards you as you start to operate from that level of consciousness. And does it take some time? Yes. However, you have to give yourself the time because you deserve the time. You shouldn't want things to be made in a day, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. You weren't built in a day. It took you 9 months in your mother's womb to even be born. Once you were born, it took you, I would say at least 18 years to grow to your height that you're supposed to be. Okay? And that's at least. They say people don't really stop maturing until they're the age of 25. So you have to give yourself that space, that time, that effort, that love, because you deserve it. And just trust that if no one else is giving it to you, that means you have to give it to yourself. You should not be dependent upon the outside world to validate you. Validate yourself within. Give yourself the permission to win. And that's it. If you like this message, like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Sydney. Join our crew over here on this side of the internet. I have a podcast called The Reflection Hour. I just released a new episode. It's on this channel. If you're interested, share this with a friend. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put those in the description. If there are any topics that you want me to talk about, let me know, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.